Thank you, and good evening, Chairman and members. Thank you so much for being here. It's a good crowd, and I welcome back Representative Allen. Thank you for being here. It's great to have you. My name is Erica Suprenant. I'm with the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition, and I'm here testifying in support of committee substitute on House Bill 3764. And I think you laid the bill out nicely. In the committee substitute, I had a chance to look over, and so I'd like to speak directly to that. This bill would require some reporting on the use of administrative segregation in TDCJ currently. And I think this is an important bill, and I'm thankful for—
Erica, you need to state your position on this.
I'm in support.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We'll have to have you change your form to CSHB.
Okay, certainly.
I'm sorry.
I apologize. And I thank Representative Marquez for bringing this forward because currently there isn't a ton of information related to the use of that administrative segregation, specifically in Texas. And actually, we're one of the states, we're actually the top state that uses administrative segregation. I think we use it more than any other state in the country. So to really study it and understand why we're using it, what effects it's having on individuals in TDCJ, and what rehabilitative or counter-rehabilitative effects it's having on individuals is so important. So I think the reporting aspect of this bill is fantastic. Getting that information and understanding administrative segregation practices as they currently are.
Erica, would you agree that there might be times when somebody totally has to be segregated from the rest of the
Absolutely. Administrative segregation is necessary. There's no doubt about it. And I think maybe there's some experts here that can speak specifically about the different types, but I know that, there's in the administrative segregation use, there's security detention, there's pre-Harriet detentions, there's protective custody. So there's various kinds, but certainly for protecting staff and other inmates is absolutely necessary, and as a punitive measure. We are not against the use of it, but we think that we should be smart about it, and it really should be used as a last resort option.
Is it also used to protect the person that's in it?
It absolutely could be used for protecting the individual from others who might be targeting them for something. So certainly we promote its use, its responsible use throughout the system. There's no doubt about that. So having the information in a report that we can access and have that available to criminal justice professionals and others is really crucial. And then also examining some of the effects that it has on individuals, and especially their potential for rehabilitation. And so I just wanted to point out one little fact that in fiscal year 2010, about 10% of individuals who were released on their flat sentence were released directly from segregated housing. So that's kind of
Is that a TDCJ number?
It is. It's from their annual statistical report from 2010.
10% that were final releases.
Exactly. So those individuals who served their complete sentence and were released on a flat discharge.
That obviously does not include state jails.
That's correct. It does not.
Excluding the state jails.
It does not include those released from state jails. 10% of those flat discharged from the prison facilities were released straight from administrative segregation. So there was no component that kind of moved them down through the system so that they were down to general custody or general population into a
Do you have some numbers at any place about recidivism rates for those who are directly released from HSEC?
In my testimony, I do reference a study that suggests that recidivism rates are higher for those who are retained in solitary housing or solitary confinement and administrative segregation for longer periods of time.
Do they have a comparison of the same type of population who were in HSEC and those who were not?
I don't know the control group. I can look back and get that and make sure and see what the compare group was. But I think there might be some experts here that can speak more specifically to that and might be able to answer your question. But I think the research suggests that individuals who are released or have spent a great deal amount of time in segregated housing do not or recidivate at a higher rate. So they may be returning, and that has a lot to do with the rehabilitative process and what programming is available to them in the segregated housing. So we really support this effort, and we would love to work with you and support this study. And I don't think I have anything else, but I will.
Ms. Allen has a question.
Yes.
First of all, would you describe segregation for me? Where am I? In a hole, in a box, in a what?
So you're in I think it's about 60 square feet.
60?
60, and I think maybe someone here, hopefully will be able to give you a more
Mr.
direct
Taylor,
account, but, it's a small holding cell. They're in single cell housing, so they typically won't share, their cell with anybody else. And they're confined there for 23 hours, a day. And they have 1 hour a day.
I'm already crazy. I'm in here 24 hours today. I'm ready to jump.
So you can relate.
This is not healthy either.
That's right.
I have conditions and everything. So, for 24 hours.
For 23.
23 hours. So
yes.
you get 1 hour to do what?
It depends, I think, on their, on why they're there. I think some people have privileges to do recreation for some of that, and then of course for showering and that sort of hygiene and that sort of thing.
Okay.
But all their meals are taken in the cell, and reading material is brought to them, so they aren't able to leave their cell to access some of the other programs and that sort of thing.
Okay, what's in this cell for me to interact with? I have a book. I heard you say book.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe they have access to the holdings list of the law library. And so you would look at the holdings list and make your selections of what you'd like to get, and then they would deliver them in a couple of days.
And what else?
They can receive. I believe they can receive mail. And I don't want to be the expert on this, but certainly other people can. But you have. I believe you have access to mail. You don't have typically access to your family, like any sort of family visits and that
in other words,
contact
you're making
with
animals. Okay.
Right. That's some people's belief. Yes.
What's the longest period of time someone has spent in that?
I don't know that I know the longest
Give
period
me
of time. Years. I mean,
years.
People people can be in segregated houses.
And then
for
you put
years.
them out into the public. What do you expect from them?
That's right.
Members, any other questions? Very good, thank you.